morning on the tweet. Let this thing just reconnect again. It does it about 2 or 3 times. A very good morning on this, the 27th of the 7th, 2026. Not 2027 yet, but it would be a great day when it has all 3 the 7s in it, in any case. Nevertheless, welcome to another video of the Federal Alliance of Southern Africa. And we are looking at some executive orders or things that need to change. That's what it's all about. Things that need to change. And there is a lot of things that need to change. Received a WhatsApp this morning on the federal board from one of our federal members about some of the stuff that's happening, that it's things that we don't really deal with. He deals with it because he's a sportsman and he's into shooting. So he deals with it, and the corruption and the things that are even there. And in every sector of life, in every sphere of our lives, we have this thing about corruption. And it's a stigma that has perpetuated South Africa and has influenced so many people that even the Uber drivers and these guys will tell you how sick and tired they are of corruption. So one of the things we're going to have a quick look at, it's only got 3 pages, and then we'll move to something else that's also very important. One of the things we're going to talk about is the restructuring and reform of our national airline. Now, this is quite important. I mentioned it some time ago about how it would be great, to see our sports people or even our planes fly across the skies with our colors beautifully emblazoned on it. Not the South African flag that has now become synonymous with corruption. Because the current flag that we have is synonymous with corruption. And what we want to get back is the Flying Springbok. I believe it's time for us to get the Flying Springbok back. We can have a band of orange, white, and blue on the side of the plane with our small Springbok logo and the Proteas in the center. And on the tail, we can have beautifully in orange the Flying Springbok like it used to be. You see, the symbols of the past are sincerely important and extremely important to us, because symbols of the past connect you with your future. And things of the past are changed to obliterate that future so that nobody can remember how it was when things were genuinely going okay. Back in my parents' day, the Flying Springbok was the emblem. And if I can ever leave a legacy behind one day, it should be that the Flying Springbok should be back on our main airline carriers. So while we wait for some people to come up and we're having some coffee, there's some thumbs ups that come up, but Facebook isn't showing me who's on this morning. Is it now one of those days? In any case. So good morning to everybody, and let's have a look at restructuring and reform of the national airline on this Monday morning. Immediate restructuring and reform of the national airline to ensure competitiveness, financial stability, and customer satisfaction or confidence. Whereas the national airline, once a critical transportation hub for both domestic and international travelers, is currently struggling financially, losing customers, and facing severe operational inefficiencies due to mismanagement, outdated infrastructure, and financial leakage. That's putting it in a nutshell. You know how much corruption has taken place in our international airlines, you won't believe it. The aviation industry plays a vital role in the nation's economy, contributing to tourism, business, connectivity, and national pride. And it is crucial that the national airline is restored to a competitive, sustainable, and customer-focused institution. To regain the confidence of passengers and restore financial stability. The national airline requires a comprehensive overhaul that addresses its leadership, operational practices, financial structure, and customer service. All right. Now, please forgive me if I don't say good morning to you individually, because there's no logos coming up on top, no profiles, and no comments coming up at the moment. So if anything comes up, then I know who's saying good morning. But up until now, there's been nothing, so please don't blame me, all right? Facebook and its tricks. All right. Section 1 is the immediate operational and structural overhaul. Oh, there's Mani. All right. Good morning, Mani. You're the first to say good morning. Independent review and audit of airline operations. An independent external audit will be conducted immediately. And as I said in previous broadcasts, when we say immediately, these things take effect from day one, right? We've got in our first, most probably, in our first day, we will have 2 48-hour days. Going from starting up, putting things out there, taking interviews, putting things out there, eating junk food, continuing from day one, right? Immediately. Why? Because we don't want them to run away with money, to hide their corruption, right? So an immediate external audit will be conducted to review the National Airlines financial operations, customer service, fleet condition, staffing practices, and safety standards. This audit will provide a comprehensive assessment of the airline's current issues and offer actionable recommendations. The audit results will be publicly disclosed and used as the foundation for implementing operational reforms. Restructuring of the airline leadership. The leadership of the national airline will be restructured to include experienced professionals with a proven track record in aviation management, customer service, and financial recovery. A reformed task force consisting of aviation industry experts, financial analysts, and business consultants will be appointed to guide the restructuring process and recommend new leadership structures and strategies. A lot of big words, but very important. Fleet modernization and maintenance. This is crucial. The National Airlines fleet will be evaluated for necessary upgrades and replacements, focusing on fuel efficiency, safety, and passenger comfort. Immediate action will be taken to ensure that all aircraft meet international safety standards, with maintenance schedules being strictly adhered to. I'm telling you what, by the time that we're done, you won't see a chemtrail in the sky ever again. Financial stabilization and customer-centric reforms. Redesigning the financial model. The national airline will undergo a financial restructuring, which includes renegotiating debt. That's a big one, renegotiating debt. When we take over, the debt stays with the mother. It's the A and the N and the C that will have to carry this burden, which they won't be able to because they'll be disbanded. So whoever dealt with them will lose countless of billions of rands and dollars. That's not our problem, right? We start on a fresh slate, a clean slate, where we owe nobody nothing. Let's put it in the mafia terms, El Capo terms, where we owe nobody nothing, right? And that's how we want to do it. We'll owe nobody nothing. We'll reduce operational inefficiencies, increasing revenue through new routes, services, and pricing strategies. A dedicated team will work with the Ministry of Finance to secure financial support while reducing reliance on government bailouts. The airline will explore public-private partnerships and potential investments from global aviation firms to inject capital and to bring expertise. Customer service overall. A customer experience task force will be created to redesign the airline's customer service policies, focusing on improving passenger satisfaction, reducing delays, and enhancing onboard services. If you fly from Johannesburg to Cape Town, you must be able to get something on board. Even if it's a sandwich, even if it's a little bit of pasta or whatever. And it must be first class, right? And we will make provision for vegetarians and for vegans. When you book your ticket, you tell them what you want, and if it's not on the plane, you get a full refund of your flight. Let's see how quickly they do their work then, right? Let's say you're a vegetarian, and you're on a plane flying from Johannesburg to Cape Town, and you placed on your meals section, you fold your meals section in vegetarian. If they do not have vegetarian for you on board the flight, you will be refunded your full flight costs. Let's see how quickly they operate then, right? So we'll have a customer service overall, improving passenger satisfaction, reducing delays, and enhancing onboard services. New service quality standards will be implemented with a focus on punctuality, customer assistance, and improved cabin conditions. Additionally, an expanded loyalty rewards program will be introduced to attract and retain customers. This will be important because when we're done with the rail lines, right, we want rails that can operate anything from starting in say Pretoria or Limpopo or whatever, and travel the breadth of our country within 4 to 6 hours. So if they are just as fast or close to, well, they won't be just as fast, but if they are close to as fast as an airplane, right, who would want to take the airplane? You take the train. Right, rebuilding the National Airlines brand, public relaunch and rebranding. A rebranding campaign will be launched to restore the airline's reputation and communicate the changes being made. This will include a new marketing campaign highlighting the airline's commitment to quality, reliability, and customer service. The government will work with international media and advertising agencies to reposition the airline as a modern, trustworthy, and premium airline service. It's all about trust. It's all about trust. And by the grace of God, I'll be launching a new marketplace today. I worked on that thing. I wanted to launch it on Friday afternoon. I couldn't. I wanted to launch it on Saturday. I couldn't. Yesterday, I couldn't. And now I'm fixing the very last thing, which is making sure that the images displayed are there. They are now in the database. So that's a good thing. And we'll be moving on with that later this morning. And hopefully, before the close of the day, we will launch. Right, so that's the airline statement. We need to fix our planes, guys. You know, I know that there are less accidents in air travel than what there is in car travel. However, I don't want to be on a plane where there's an accident. Okay? You got no chance. Right, so that's what we want to have a look at, and then we'll tackle the next one. That was a quickly 15-minute one. The next one is an important one. It's judicial reform and incorporation of common law into the Constitution. Johan, good morning. Now this is a big one, right? Making sure that things operate on common law and that everybody knows what the advocates are doing, what the lawyers are doing, what the judges are doing, that everybody understands the tribunal justice system. So we'll be working quite closely with common law advocacy groups to get this thing sorted out as soon as possible. So, the judiciary of South Africa has become compromised by corruption, inefficiencies, and the lack of accountability, undermining the confidence of the people in the judicial system and the rule of law. That is the truth. And I can give you example through our one ambassador that's been fighting the courts continuously. We have major problems in our courthouses. We have hundreds of thousands of cases that are going through the system but are totally corrupted. I mean, let's take the road accident fund, for example, right? There are people that are going to wait 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 years before their cases are being heard. That is, what's the word I'm looking for? Unacceptable. It's unacceptable, right? A fair and impartial judiciary is the cornerstone of any just society, and it is imperative that the judicial system be reformed to ensure justice is delivered without bias or political interference. A fair and impartial, to restore the rule of law, ensure fairness, and provide the people with a truly transparent and accountable judicial process, it is necessary to reform the judicial system, including the integration of common law principles into the Constitution, the removal of corrupt officials, and the establishment of a system where all citizens are judged by their peers. The judicial reforms must reflect the best practices of global judicial systems while adapting to the cultural and legal needs of the Federal Alliance of Southern Africa, ensuring that justice is blind, impartial, and equitable for all citizens. If your rule of law is excellent, then citizens do not have to fear. If you know you are doing the right thing and that you'll be processed correctly, you won't fear. If things come your way that shouldn't come your way, or that, through circumstances have come your way, you will know that you will be handled and treated fairly. And that's all you want. Adoption of common law principles. The Constitution of South Africa or the Federal Alliance shall be amended to formally incorporate common law principles as the guiding framework for judicial processes. This will include the right to a fair trial, precedent-based rulings, and a system of adjudication based on reason, equity, and justice. The judiciary will be required to apply common law principles in all cases, except where the conflict with written laws and constitutional provisions of the Federal Alliance of South Africa comes to play. Judicial establishment of a judicial president. Judicial president, this is not a president with an I, the president of the country. This is a precedent, right? So we say president. Shall be given primary consideration in the interpretation and application of laws. The decisions made by higher courts will serve as guiding authority in subsequent cases to ensure consistency and stability in the legal system. A centralized legal database will be established for recording, tracking, and making available precedents, rulings, and decisions for public access. Then Section 2, this is important, this one is crucial. Removal of corrupt judges, lawyers, and advocates. A Special Judicial Review Committee, SJRC, will be established, composed of distinguished legal professionals, human rights experts, and representatives from civil society, tasked with investigating allegations of corruption, misconduct, and unethical behavior within the judiciary. Here we will rely on a lot of whistleblowing, right? The committee will review the cases of sitting judges, advocates, and lawyers, scrutinizing their financial dealings, past rulings, and professional conduct. Nobody's going anywhere when we take over until we've sorted out the mess. If any judicial officers are found to be engaged in corrupt practices, abuse of power, or are otherwise unfit to serve, they will be immediately removed from office and banned from re-entering the legal profession. But, of course, in some cases, assets will be frozen, etc. Right? Financial accountability and asset freezing. In the event of judicial corruption or misconduct, the assets of the implicated individuals, including judges, lawyers, or advocates, will be frozen immediately by the National Anti-Corruption Bureau. This action will be taken based on the findings of the Special Judicial Review Committee. The assets of individuals convicted of corruption will be forfeited to the state, with proceeds directed towards the rebuilding of the justice system and compensating victims of judicial malpractice. Jan, wat sê jy? Goeiemôre. Good morning. Establishment of a peer-driven judicial system, trial by peers, the people's courts or tribunals. They'll be named whatever they need to be named. A people's court system will be introduced in which citizens of the Federal Alliance will serve as jurors in judicial proceedings, ensuring that those judged are evaluated by their peers rather than solely by appointed judges. The people's courts will handle cases of criminal law, civil disputes, and constitutional matters where impartiality is crucial. The jurors will be selected from a pool of citizens with a diverse demographic representation to ensure fair and unbiased judgment. Jurors will be trained and educated on their rights and responsibilities, as well as the principles of common law, to ensure they fulfill their duties competently and impartially. Transparency and public participation. To ensure complete transparency and public confidence, all proceedings in the people's courts will be publicly broadcast and documented for public record. A citizens' oversight body will be established to monitor the performance of judges and jurors, ensuring that corruption, bias, or undue influence does not affect the fairness of trials. This is a very deep thing. This section is very deep and requires quite a bit of planning. But once it works, it operates, this thing will fly like a kite. So we started with this thing, which is section 4, which I want to just go through with you quickly. Semi-US judicial system and accountability mechanisms. We have to look abroad and see what works, right? Adoption of a hybrid US-style judicial model. The judicial system will adopt key figures of the US system, including the appointment and confirmation of judges with stringent vetting processes. Judges will be appointed by the President and confirmed by the Legislative Assembly following transparent hearings and public review. Now, the Legislative Assembly will be the board of 40. The National Judicial Council will oversee the appointment of judges to ensure competence, independence, and ethical behavior. Lifetime appointments with regular reviews. Judges will be appointed for lifetime terms with the possibility of reappointment after each set term following regular performance evaluations and feedback from the people. Public hearings will be held every 5 years to review the performance of each judge, where citizens can express concerns, file complaints, and participate in the evaluation process. That 5 years might be 3 years. Strengthening legal institutions and education, the reform of legal education and training. A comprehensive overhaul of the legal education system will be undertaken to ensure that law schools and training programs reflect the values of common law, transparency, and ethics. New curricula will emphasize legal ethics, accountability, human rights, and judicial impartiality, with a special focus on common law principles. All law graduates will be required to pass a public ethics exam before being allowed to practice law. Strengthening legal aid and access to judges. A national legal aid system will be established to provide free or subsidized legal services for citizens who cannot afford representation, with a special focus on ensuring equal access to justice for all, particularly marginalized communities. This is a crucial sentence. Equal access to justice for all. Equal access. Establishment of a National Justice and Accountability Office, the NJAA. A newly created National Justice and Accountability Office will oversee the entire judicial reform process with a mandate to ensure that justice is delivered fairly and impartially. The NJAA will have the authority to investigate complaints, enforce judicial ethics, and ensure that the judiciary is aligned with the principles of common law, human rights, and public accountability. Transition and implementation. I'm going through all these things, and there's a lot that's being said, right? And all these things that I'm going through with you guys, and that I'm putting out there in the public purview, is to be transparent, is to show you what type of actions we're going to be taking when the time comes. And I say when the time comes, because I know the time is coming and will come when we do this. We just need to sort out certain things, of which one is obviously the financial issue. But in saying that, we also need to sort out how we are going to discuss, not how we're going to, with whom are we going to discuss the new Boer state as an example, right? We cannot discuss that situation with the broader public. We need a body to speak to. Like we are speaking to the kings, right? We need a Volksraad. Even if it's an interim Volksraad, we need to be able to talk to these guys so that they are aligned with the federal processes and futuristic outlook. This is crucial. Because if you want to establish a Volksstaat, who are you going to talk to? Met wie gaan jy praat? Right? Because we have like 100,000 freaking leaders out there. Each one doing his own thing. But slowly but surely we've channeled this. We've channeled it to an advisory board of 12 at the moment. And that advisory board is again meeting tomorrow night. And out of that advisory board, we need to come to a place of establishing the Volksraad. Then the Federal Alliance knows with whom we can talk. We talk to these 7 guys and that's it. We talk to them. And when we have our final meetings, those are the 7 guys we have in the meeting. And those guys will represent the Boere of South Africa. And whoever is not part of the process, I'm sorry for you, your time has come, you didn't make it, goodbye. Try again next time. That's it. That's how it should be. So that when we launch, or come close to launching, right, we have the federal board, the board of 10 and the board of 20. We'll still determine who's the first 10, the extra 10. We'll need the United Cape States board. And we'll need the Volksraad. Those 3 groups. First chat, second chat, third chat, fourth chat. Then the 5th chat will be with the kings. Once that's done, and we are all on the same page, it will be weeks. Believe me, it will be weeks. That is the route to go. The other route is to establish a Federal Alliance political party. The FAPP, whatever. And keep the same principles, the same core values, the same, everything in it, except we follow the political route to get to the end goal of having no political parties. It's another method. And if we have the backing of the kings, before we go to the voting polls, we will come in with a landslide. So that's the other method. But we are not focusing on that method at all at the moment. We're not focusing on it. All right? So we're putting everything into the public purview so that you guys can listen to the videos, check it again. Wat het hierdie ou te sê? Wat gaan hulle doen? Wat se veranderinge is hulle van plan om te bring? What changes are they going to make? So that at the end of the day, we can all walk out of this thing with our heads held high and achieve the impossible. But then here's the thing. Nothing with God is impossible. And when we started this journey in 2015, we knew who to walk alongside. We don't do it on our own. That's foolish. So, take a good look. I'm sure by the end of today, even earlier, you'll start seeing some videos of our new marketplace that we've established, right? And you'll be drawn into the marketplace. I want you guys to advertise it as far and wide as possible, all right? The more listings we get, the quicker we can get to our end goal. So if you've got something to sell, sell it. Put it on the marketplace. Let's increase our listings. You will love this web app. You will love it. All right? I'm not going to give the www away now. It's very simple. It's easy. It's lovely. It's beautiful. And but I will give it to you later. Okay? So, Freelanders, Vryburgers, man. Boere, Englishman, Irish, Scottish, Venda, Pedi, Tsonga, Ndebele, the pride of Africa, the Boere. We are the pride of Africa. Right? I love it when we play, when the Springboks play, I love it. You see those 3 Zulu guys run out there with their spears and their assegai. That is South Africa. Right? The Springbok. That's who we are. Right? And that's who we'll be. A nation of nations under God. We actually start with that. Under God, a nation of nations. Because everything must be under Him. Right? And only with God is unity strength. You guys must have a fabulous Monday. All the best.